showtime!
Superior tech!
Smash you!
Hey everybody, it recently dawned on me that when I talked about these figures originally, I neglected to actually open any of them up. That was pretty absent-minded of me, so I'm going to go ahead and rectify that right about now. Alright? Let's start off with the Spider-Man one, the large-noggined, oversized melon Spider-Man. Use my trusty scissors here. But there's something else I can't believe I forgot to mention that I noticed is Spider-Man's boots. They also neglected to paint them red, so they're blue. They're not some fancy variant or exclusive. They're all like that. Every last one of these that I have seen has blue boots. I guess they didn't want to shell out the pennies to paint those boots. Let's take a look at the Hulk real quick. He's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but you know, he's still pretty underwhelming. I found one of those budget, quote-unquote budget Hulk figures I was talking about from like a previous line, and you can see obviously there's a bit of a gap in quality there, sculpting wise and scale. So yeah, and I say budget, but you know, I think these were like $6 or $7 when they came out, so that might not be budget to some people. So, but the articulation and stuff is basically the same. You know, like I said, the sculpt and scale is definitely better on the older one. But articulation is basically the same, but like I said, the quality is obviously, the gap in quality is definitely noticeable there. So if you can find one of these somewhere for a price that you think is fair, I would opt for this and maybe skip out on this guy, unless you really want this guy and like this guy. I mean, having a little Hulk on your desk at work might be kind of cool for you, and he might be just the right size, I don't know. Now I wanted to take a look at the main offender of the line. That Thor, who, I mean, like, if he was any other character, he might be okay. You know, some other Asgardian supporting character or something like that, because I don't really hate the armor and stuff and all that. It's all right, but it's just not the mighty Thor. And adding to, you know, the burn a little bit is this depiction of Thor looking mighty on the packaging, you know, with hammer included, by the way. So that's an extra little, you know, maybe they could provide that disclaimer on there. Not that, once again, he could hold a hammer anyway. Some of the smaller, I was thinking of, like, the original Thor movie action figures that were in this scale. The hammer might be sized better, scaled better to this figure, but he couldn't hold it anyway. And, you know, no cape or anything. So it's kind of a letdown if you're looking for a mighty Thor figure. And that lack of accessory, like just for like Cap's shield, you know. When Captain America throws his mighty shield, maybe a little asterisk on the package, shield not included. But, you know, kind of a letdown in that department. And I found, I'm sure I have the like bargain Thor I was talking about from a different line, but I couldn't scrounge that up. But I did find the bargain Loki from that line. Your brother is laughing at you, mighty Thor. Not so mighty Thor. But I liked these just because they were, well, not just because, but one of the things I liked is that they're sort of halfway between movie version and comic book style, you know, because it's not a real Tom Hiddleston likeness, but there's elements of that, and there's elements of like the classic Loki from the comic books, just like they did with the Thor. He's sort of classic and sort of movie version, somewhere in between. Yeah, so that's cool. But anyway, these figures I'm kind of on the fence about. I don't hate them, and I don't think, you know, I don't want to be too critical of them, but I guess maybe if you just really want to add them to your collection, you can. these are definitely the three least impressive of the line. There are definitely better ones that work better and would work better in, you know, would integrate into other lines more smoothly. I'm still not sure what's up with the weird decal-looking paint jobs. I mean, they're definitely, I guess they're not really decals, but they just have that appearance. But yeah, anyway, it's kind of a hit or miss line. It's up to you to decide whether you want to spend your money on these or not. Like I said, these three here, you might want to opt out on and try to find something a little bit more impressive that would still fit in with the others, because the others aren't bad, really. I mean, these aren't terrible, but they're just not not ideal, not what you would really, you know. Anyway, after that fumbling, bumbling video, just real quick, I just want to do like follow up, since I forgot to open them and in the previous video. So a little supplemental material for you to round that out. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Okay, so I had all that other footage recorded earlier, like a few days ago, about a week ago. And then before I could get it posted, I unexpectedly received a question from a viewer. I was not expecting any kind of interaction like that. So pay no attention to the 23-hour mark on that comment, because that's even irrelevant, because it took me days after that to respond. So way to engage with those viewers. But as I said, it was unexpected because I wasn't anticipating anybody to actually be watching this. But anyway, let me start off by saying, oh, hi, Mark. I'm so sorry. That's probably the 1000th time you've heard that joke. Just today, probably. What's that noise? That's the sound of Mark unsubscribing. So, to answer your question, I really don't know. I guess it depends on how dedicated you are. This one right here, as an easy one, I can see just an easy repaint for a Solomon Grundy. You could probably find a cloth goods doll jacket or something in this scale that you could distress to give it that fresh from the grave look. Or if you're a plastics guy, I'm sure there's got to be a jacket that's made of plastic that might be in this scale somewhere. So yeah, that's just a simple one that you wouldn't have to do a whole lot for. But as you can see, there aren't any screws like old school toys would have to just unscrew the body to gain access to the limbs. So it depends on how intrusive, I guess, you would want to get to acquire those parts, unless there's some technique beyond or outside of breaking or cutting that you know of. Feel free to tell me what that method is. That'd be helpful for me. But yeah, they do tend to scale a little bit on the small side, so that might present some limitations there. But as far as being a fairly inexpensive resource goes, these aren't terribly expensive comparatively. And again, the articulation is fairly basic, so that might present also some limitations there. But you could probably work around that and work with that. The fact that that was your question suggests that you are a accomplished customizer, and I'm sure you can probably figure out some kind of workaround. So anyway, I hope that helps. It probably doesn't, but I hope it does. And thank you for your question, Mr. Howd. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you for your question. Thank you for watching, and for anyone else watching this video right now, thank you also for tuning in. I appreciate it, and I will see you.
Thumbs up, soldier!